Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 258 of Tech It Out. Hope you're all doing well this summer. Wow, we're already mid-August, aren't we? Not sure about you, but the summer just seems to be flying by for me, which means having fun. Hope you are all healthy and happy, and thank you for making Tech It Out a part of your day today. We do have a stellar show planned for you this hour with 4 different guests. To start off, we're going to learn about a super cool 3D and 360-degree camera that's also a viewer, so you can see the incredibly immersive content that you create before sharing it. After that, I'll chat back to school tech picks. This is going to be part 1 of 2, some great gear as students head back into the classroom. Also on the program today, when will a drone deliver products to your door? Well, believe it or not, it's happening already, as you'll hear from Auterion. And finally, Xiaomi. It's one of the biggest tech brands in the world, but relatively new to North America. So we'll give you the 411 on what's up with this company, Xiaomi. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. You probably use your smartphone for capturing photos and videos these days. But for those who want to capture immersive content for, say, virtual reality, you're going to need a 3D camera. And we're going to learn about a consumer-grade model now called the QooCam EGO from an award-winning VR company called Kandao. We're joined by Kandao's CEO, Chen Dan. Hi, Dan. Thanks for your time today.
Hi, Mark. It's my pleasure to join you.
Thank you. Now, before we talk about QooCam, this family of cameras, please tell us about the company, Kandao.
Okay, we founded the company in 2016. We specialize in making VR camera. At the beginning, we mainly manufacture those professional-grade VR camera, such as our Obsidian series. Those are for something like content creator, filmmaker, to create professional VR content. Also, we have in 2018, we start the QooCam family, which is our consumer level camera.
All right. And that's what we're going to chat about today. So creating virtual reality content from one of the QooCam devices. And there's a new one on the market called the QooCam EGO, which we're going to talk more about. But let's hear sort of at a high level what the QooCam family is all about. So it's spelled, by the way, for our listeners, QooCam. Please explain what makes these cameras unique.
Actually, our first QooCam camera is a camera with 3 lenses. So QOO, you see 3 circles. It looks like 3 lenses.
Oh, right. I got it.
Yeah. So when we are naming the camera series, we think that maybe it sounds like cool, right? So QooCam. So this is our consumer level camera. And the QooCam family so far, I think, have 4 devices. Some of them are for capturing 360 video and photo, and some of them are capturing 3D contents. The first generation actually captured both 360 and VR 180. As well.
Yeah, maybe you can explain the difference. So I've seen these cameras that can shoot 360 degrees. So when you look at it later in a headset or on YouTube and you use your mouse to scroll around, it captures everything from all angles and the viewer can move it around. How is that different than shooting 3D video?
Actually, there is several combinations. You mentioned 360. Then when you capture a 360 photo or video, people can actually look around and see everything in your VR headset.
Right.
And when we are talking about 3D camera, it is actually more light when you go to the cinema and watch 3D movie, something like Avatar or maybe other.
Oh, I see. I understand.
And there is another combination that you capture both 3D, 360. So everywhere you look, you have 3D feeling. So this is what our professional VR camera do. It usually will have something like 6 lenses or 8 lenses. And then we will use a lot of computational technique to regenerate the 3D and 360 together. But for those consumer level cameras, usually it is either 360 or 3D.
I understand. And if you capture it in 3D and you play it back on say a 3D TV, you wear glasses, 3D glasses, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wear 3D glasses.
Yeah. I think at least in North America, VR headsets are more popular than 3D TVs. But I can understand from a professional standpoint, if you're creating a 3D movie for the theaters, that's a bit different. But we're talking today about the consumer grade family, right? Mm-hmm. So let's hear about this latest model, the QooCam EGO.
Actually, in our view, QooCam EGO is 3D cameras with a 3D viewer integrated together. So you just mentioned that maybe 3D TV is not that popular in North America. And we think that the main reason is that for ordinary people, once they kind of watch those limited supply of 3D movie, then they will run out of 3D content to watch.
Right.
So we think that maybe a 3D camera helping people to capture 3D content, and especially content of their own life or their own experience, will make those 3D content much more personal for the customer. So this is we think that, okay, we need to create a 3D camera. But once you have a 3D camera, you still need to solve the problem of how to let people kind of view the 3D content easily. VR headset is, of course, a very good way to enjoy 3D content. But we think that not many people have VR headset at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we think that what if we kind of integrated the viewer together with the camera? So after you capture it, you can view your contents immediately rather than going back to home and then transfer it back to your VR headset. So in this way, for example, especially for people around you, you can share, you give it the QooCam EGO, and then he or she can immediately enjoy the 3D content. So I think this is the basic idea when we are designing the QooCam EGO.
Oh, very cool. All right. So just to be clear, the QooCam EGO camera is also a viewer. So when you capture 3D photos or videos, you can see them inside of the camera as well because you look into it with both eyes, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have a viewer. The viewer can be separate from the camera. When you are capturing the contents, you actually do not need to use the viewer. So you can just hold the camera itself. And when you want to view it, you can kind of snap on the viewer.
Ah, excellent. And what if you want to share the video or photos that you've captured with people who are not with you? Is there a way that someone can look at it in a VR headset if you send them the file?
Yes. We actually took quite some work to make it compatible with all those mainstream VR headset. So once you capture the photo, you can get the file, both photo or video, to your smartphone, and then using your smartphone apps to share it to your VR headset. Or if the people you want to share have a QooCam EGO, you just send this sharing code to your friends, and then he input this sharing code into the EGO, then the EGO will download the content automatically.
That's if they have a QooCam EGO as well.
Yeah. So EGO to EGO sharing will be quite easy.
We are chatting with Chen Dan, CEO of Kandao, the company behind the QooCam family of cameras that can shoot 3D and 360-degree videos. And the QooCam EGO even serves as a viewer as well. Now, Dan, what if you wanted to upload a video that you recorded, maybe from a vacation, to social media? Can people use their finger or their mouse and move the image around? Or no, it'll be just a regular 2D photo or video?
When you upload the 3D content, 3D photo or video to a regular platform that does not support 3D content, it will look like a side-by-side photo or image, meaning that the image is divided into two parts. The left part is for the left eye image, and the right part is for the right eye image.
Can you use the QooCam EGO like a regular camera if you wanted, like a regular 2D camera? Is there a mode like that?
The camera itself is always taking footage in 3D, but our apps allow user to just export 2D content.
Okay. Thank you. And before we wrap up here, Dan, is it as easy to use as a regular camera, or is there a lot of training required?
Now, I think as the camera itself, it is just like a regular camera.
So the idea here for the QooCam EGO, it's a consumer-grade 3D camera and viewer, and it's for content creators who want to create these very immersive photos and videos. Now they have the equipment to do so.
Yes. Want people, ordinary people, to create an avatar experience of your own life.
I like that. And how much does the QooCam EGO cost?
It costs $369 USD.
Okay, that's great. All right, QooCam EGO, it's spelled QOOCAM and then EGO. Is there a website that we can recommend for our listeners to visit?
Of course, we have our Kandao website.
And Kandao is spelled Kandao. The website is kandaovr.com. There's also activity on social media if you want to search for Kandao or QooCam. Dan, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. This is really exciting technology. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You are listening to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. When we return on Tech It Out, some recommended back-to-school gear, including a printer that has enough ink to last up to 2 years. We'll be right back with more.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. As I mentioned earlier, I've been chatting on TV about some back to school recommendations. I know it seems like, wait, summer's not done yet. I know, but a lot of parents and students are shopping for the fall. And of course, that includes tech, regardless of the grade they're going into, especially I'd say once you're about 8, definitely a laptop and some accessories and tech solutions going to be part of your arsenal for sure. So I thought I'd share with you about 5 of those recommendations. So if you want to grab a pen or your phone and jot down some of these, or you can always hit me up if you have any questions. My website is marksaltzman.com, MarkSaltzman. All right, I'd argue a laptop is probably one of the most important considerations for a student today. And there are tons of options out there, let's face it. I'm a huge fan of the 2022 LG Gram, an ultra slim and lightweight laptop with a new anti-glare 17-inch screen and 16:10 aspect ratio. So a big widescreen. It allows you to easily multitask, better for productivity because you can do more in less time. I know a lot of students have multiple windows open. That's not unusual. Under the hood, it features a 12th generation Intel Core processor, and it is Intel Evo certified. It has that little sticker as I'm looking at right here. It's got that badge that certifies that it's got instant boot up times and long battery life, which I'll get to in a moment. A powerful CPU as well as impressive graphics performance, multiple ports like Thunderbolt or USB-C, as well as fast Wi-Fi 6. What I like the most about this laptop, aside from the fact it's super thin and light, so a student isn't even going to feel it in their backpack, is the battery life, up to 25.5 hours. That is well over 5 or 6 times than what I was getting in my laptop, even after school, even well into my work life. So things have really evolved. The LG Gram family is a premium laptop. Prices start at $1,749. All right, now accessories for computers are a great idea, especially a monitor. Now, if you're in a dorm room, you're probably using that monitor for both your entertainment and your schoolwork. So both your 9 to 5 school life and your 5 to 9 downtime, if you will, and often well past 9 o'clock. So this is a monitor that I really like. You can connect to any laptop. It's the Xiaomi Mi, and that's Mi, the Xiaomi Mi 34-inch widescreen and curved gaming monitor. So again, ideal for work and play. This is a huge, ultra-high definition monitor that's perfect for dorm rooms, along with WQHD resolution for ultra-high detail. It also has a high refresh rate, and that's perfect for gamers at 144 Hertz, and technology called AMD FreeSync Premium. In plain English, it just ensures fast and smooth frame rates when you're playing those action games, because with other monitors, you're going to see all this hiccuping and it doesn't look good. I also love the minimalist design on this Xiaomi monitor, which is also fully adjustable for comfort, so it was designed for ergonomics. It's $549 at xiaomishop.us. That's XIAOMI shop.us. And we're going to be chatting with Xiaomi later in the program as well. Don't forget. If you're just joining us now, I'm chatting about some back-to-school tech ideas. Don't forget about the importance of strong Wi-Fi. If it's been a few years since you've upgraded your router at home, chances are it's having trouble keeping up with everything. Not only are devices Wi-Fi 6 enabled, like that LG Gram laptop I chatted about, but more and more devices are on your network than ever before, right? Something we all realized during COVID, I think, when kids were schooling from home and people were working from home, it puts a lot of pressure on the bandwidth, right? So the latest family of networking solutions from D-Link are worth mentioning, and they're on sale. So this is the Eagle Pro AI family of Wi-Fi gear, and that includes Wi-Fi 6 routers, range extenders, and mesh systems. Again, collectively called Eagle Pro AI, and as the name suggests, they provide self-optimizing Wi-Fi. So powered by artificial intelligence, it continuously monitors your Wi-Fi network, making changes to optimize performance, like prioritizing traffic, where it's needed, and even giving you a weekly report. There's parental controls, up to 5,400 square feet of coverage, so even for larger properties. And again, fast Wi-Fi 6 speeds. The D-Link Eagle Pro AI 3-pack mesh system is only $229, so that's 3 pucks that you place in and around the home. They all make a wireless handshake, and it gives you fast and reliable and wide-ranging Wi-Fi throughout the home and even outside of it. Next up, I've been talking about Epson EcoTank for years. This is the family of all-in-one printers, scanners, and copiers that don't take cartridges. Instead, they have these supersized ink tanks that take bottles of ink, and out of the box, and you get this included, up to 2 years worth of ink. So this is amazing. You don't have to think twice about printing, whether it's photos or text or things like projects and crafts. And when it is time to buy more ink, they're inexpensive bottles instead of cartridges. So also better on the environment, by the way. Prices start at $329 for the Epson EcoTank family of all-in-one printers, scanners, and copiers. And of course, they're wireless, so you can print from smartphones and tablets as well. Even with your voice, if you have a smart speaker nearby, you can print line paper, graph paper, coloring sheets, crossword puzzles, and so on. Really, really smart. And finally, speaking of printers, Fujifilm has their latest Instax Mini Link 2 smartphone printer. So this is an awesome portable smartphone printer to instantly create tangible memories out of your photos. And that way you can decorate lockers, dorm rooms, binders, place these pictures around a bedroom mirror with these 2x3-inch photos that this little tiny printer, it's a little bit bigger than a deck of cards, it just creates on the spot after you install the Instax app on your smartphone. I've seen this Fujifilm Instax Mini Link 2 for $99 at Amazon.com. Well, there you have it. A look at some back-to-school gear ideas. Next week, we'll look at 5 more. You can always hit me up if you have questions on social media. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. When we return on Tech It Out, a drone delivering products to your door. It's here. We'll be right back.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. According to data from a new report, we're ready for drones dropping packages on our doorsteps, and many believe this will be a reality over the next 1 to 2 years. We're going to dive deeper into this topic now with renowned drone expert Romeo Durscher, who also serves as Senior Vice President at Auterion, a company that builds software for mobile robotics. Hi, Romeo. Thanks for joining us today.
Mark, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be a fun one.
Looking forward to this for sure. Now, before we talk about this 2022 drone delivery report, please tell us a bit about your work. If I'm not mistaken, previously you were at NASA and DJI, one of the biggest drone companies, at least for consumers, and fill us in on what Auterion is all about.
Yes, absolutely. So Auterion at the core is a software company based on open source and open standards. The mobile robotics industry truly needs that, so it can truly scale up and make the best use of mobile robotics. And so that they are also become more acceptable and easier to use for end users. So a standardized approach of integration, deployment, and data workflow. So in essence, Auterion, think of it as the Android of the drone or mobile robotics industry. We make the operating system and enable, through this open standard approach, the build of a true ecosystem so that drone manufacturers, camera and sensor manufacturers, app developers are all able to integrate into each other and into our operating system, and then operate fleets of drones or mobile robotics through our fleet operation and mission management software. So this really allows for a true end-to-end data workflow integration and a true ROI for the use of mobile robotics.
Got it. Now, because this is a consumer show, I wanted to chat about the concept of having a drone autonomously fly through the air and dropping a package on your doorstep within just a few minutes, maybe 30 minutes or so. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes, absolutely. So there's in essence two major types of drone delivery. There's the delivery where the drop-off location is not entirely known and you have to manually fly the drone. So think of a rescue operation out over open waters, and you have a struggling person in the water, and now you want to send a life preserver to this person.
Sure.
The second kind of drone delivery is where both the takeoff location and the drop-off locations are pretty well established, and the delivery is done fully autonomous. So one of those areas is a medical delivery, such as medicine, medical tests, blood, or even an organ from a hospital to a hospital over a large area or difficult to get to location. And then the one that this report covers is, in essence, the drone cargo delivery, where it includes a commercial good, such as food, toiletries, diapers, anything that you would purchase in the store and just need immediately.
Yeah, so just as a sample scenario, it's Friday night, it's 5:30 p.m., and I want to order a tie from an online store that I want to wear that night to go out for dinner, and I'm leaving my home in 45 minutes or so. So I go on my phone or smart speaker, smartwatch, what have you, order a tie, and an autonomous drone flies through town and drops it on your doorstep, messages you to come out and pick it up, and then you can wear that tie that night. I know it sounds like science fiction, but that's kind of what we're chatting about here.
That's exactly it. This is one of the examples.
I love it. And realistically, how far away are we from that?
So all three that I was just mentioning, the public safety is already delivering items like life preservers and first aid kits, communication devices to areas and people of distress. So the minutes that we're saving there are really the determining factor of a positive outcome or a very tragic event.
Yeah, a little bit more important than wearing a tie for dinner. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Certainly. I mean, we just saw that this month off the coast of Spain, where a drone delivered a preserver to a 14-year-old that was struggling and was rescued.
Amazing.
So we're already seeing that. The medical drone deliveries are very prominent in Africa and South America, and even between hospitals in the Western world countries. So here, the time saving is not just minutes, but hours. And those medical drone deliveries are already making a big difference to entire communities. Like we've been seeing over 1 million COVID vaccines that were delivered by drone in Africa alone.
Wow.
And then the commercial cargo delivery, the one that this report is looking at, they're in essence deliveries of convenience, which have a positive impact on the environment, less traffic, less pollution, increased positive shopping experience. And we're also seeing a scale up. For example, Walmart in the United States is expanding that service to 34 locations in Arizona and Arkansas, Florida, Texas, Utah, and Virginia, for example. And instant drone delivery is also seen over tens of thousands of flights in Australia. So this is happening.
Now, even if it could work from a technical perspective, I would think that there are legislative hurdles. No? I mean, you mentioned a few states there, but is it legal across the board? I remember reading that the FAA had approved drone deliveries to some extent, and also things like insurance issues that have to be ironed out, right?
Absolutely. And reality is that regulations is always lagging behind the pace of technology. I mean, we've seen and experienced that in other areas.
Yeah, sure.
Drone technology has come very long ways in the last decade and has become the safest form of aviation. And despite many million flight hours, we've not seen a single confirmed fatality due to these commercial drone platforms. And now that we're seeing more beyond visual line of sight approvals from the FAA and from other organizations across the globe, we're seeing also the rise of more impactful applications from power line to gas line inspection, search and rescue, disaster response, and also the drone cargo delivery.
We're chatting with Romeo Durscher. He's Senior Vice President at Auterion, a company that builds software for mobile robotics. Again, I'd love to press you on the consumer applications for drone deliveries. How far out do you anticipate being able to order something online from, say, a Walmart or an Amazon and have it delivered to your door right away?
In certain locations, it's already reality in the United States, and it's truly happening. And yes, there are still a lot of items that we have to figure out as an industry on both the technical area as well as the infrastructure area.
Right.
For example, apartment buildings. How do we deliver there?
All right. Is there a place where our listeners could read more about it?
Absolutely. At Auterion.com.
Auterion.com. Thanks so much for your time, Romeo. Great to chat with you. Really fascinating topic.
Appreciate it, Mark, and have a great rest of the day.
When we return, we're going to learn all about one of the hottest consumer tech brands on the planet, Xiaomi. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We cover cybersecurity a lot on this program and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. And one part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some very significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years. $9 billion. In fact, this is to support Visa's brand promise to protect financial information of both individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. All right, let's continue on with the show. There's a huge tech brand that, if you haven't heard of them yet, you no doubt soon will. And they're called Xiaomi. It's spelled Xiaomi. And to learn about the company, we're joined by Xiaomi's talented and passionate distribution services company for the Americas called Techmovil. And I'm thrilled to have on this show Claudia Rodriguez, COO and co-founder of Techmovil, based in beautiful Miami. Hi, Claudia. Thanks for your time today.
Hey, Mark. Very nice to chat with you. I've been looking forward to our conversation today.
Thank you. Me too. Now, before we talk about Xiaomi, please tell us a bit about your company, Techmovil.
Sure. At Techmovil, we're a highly innovative consumer electronics distribution and also services company that is committed to taking mobile technology to new frontiers. We help brands bring their best life-improving products to market in the most efficient and effective possible way. Our team is comprised of highly experienced logistics, marketing, retail, and e-commerce professionals, among others, who work together to take brands to the next level. We partner with the appropriate channels, and we focus on reaching their target customer and consumer and ensure we exceed the market share targets.
So Xiaomi is one of your clients. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a huge tech brand that is only now becoming more known in North America, I'd argue. Tell us about Xiaomi.
Sure. Xiaomi is a tremendous global market leader, both in smartphones as well as in IoT devices. And they have a huge brand following worldwide, including in many parts of Europe and Asia. We at Techmovil, we've worked with Xiaomi to grow the brand in LATAM over the past 4 years and feel fortunate to say that we have contributed to the growth of the brand from a relatively unknown smartphone vendor position to now top 3 in LATAM, and even in some countries, number 1, number 2.
Wow.
We recognize the brand love that Xiaomi carries, and we want to drive that same brand love into the US and Canada and bring the latest innovative products that they have, which no doubt will add value to the lifestyle of our consumers across North America.
All right. And speaking of some of their products, you mentioned they may be best known for their smartphones, but they have so many other devices. They range from portable projectors and monitors to wireless earbuds and even electric scooters. So why don't we start with e-scooters?
Absolutely. What an interesting topic, too, because if you think about electric transportation, it has become incredibly popular now, particularly post-COVID, as this new trend of micromobility coupled with the interest in electric vehicles has surely taken off. Mm-hmm. So we see e-scooters and also e-bikes continue to be an exciting product category, especially in urban cities. And as you know, Mark, we recently launched the electric scooter in Canada, the e-Scooter Pro 2.
Right.
And are ready to do the same with the next generation electric scooters, the electric scooter 4 Pro, which we'll take into the US and also into Canada. We believe that with these products, Xiaomi will be focusing on bringing some really innovative, zippy, fast, fun, but also specifically safe scooters to our consumers in North America. And, just a couple of things that I absolutely have to highlight. The scooters are ultra portable, lightweight, and they can be folded in just about 3 seconds, which, if you think about how fast our lives are nowadays and how quickly we have to move from one thing to the next, it helps make our lives a lot easier. Probably the last thing, I don't know if it's generally known, what makes this ultra light and ultra portable design is the mechanical design that Xiaomi focused on. They adopted the strong aerospace grade aluminum alloy material for the frame, which allows for the scooters to be not only incredibly durable, but also extremely lightweight.
Mm-hmm. And how much do the e-scooters start at?
Sure. So the e-Scooter Pro 2 is currently available in Canada at Best Buy for $999 Canadian dollars full retail. And, it has also been on sale, $849 Canadian dollars. So, sometimes there are some good opportunities out there.
Yes, those e-scooters are super fun. Xiaomi was nice enough to lend me one, and I fight with my youngest son, Ethan, about who's going to ride it. So anyways, I thought I'd share that with you, Claudia. Let's now pivot and talk gaming. I know Xiaomi has a new curved monitor that is garnering quite a bit of buzz online. I've seen lots of YouTube videos about it. Tell us about the Mi branded, and that's MI, curved gaming monitor. It's a 34-inch model.
Yeah, absolutely. Gaming is quite another formidable, fast growth category, right? Mm-hmm. When we think about gaming as a category, we recognize the steep growth that this category has experienced in the past couple of years, particularly as more consumers and students spend time at home. So Xiaomi clearly wanted to address this category and the opportunity that it represents and make products that were delivering not just some amazing immersive gaming experiences to the gaming community, but what I personally find very interesting, they also are catering through these products to non-gaming audiences. Equally demanded these monitors for the ease of working from home in a more comfortable multitasking screen environment and with the large screen video experience.
More with Claudia from Techmovil to chat about Xiaomi when we return on Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Claudia Rodriguez. She is Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Techmovil. They are the distribution company behind Xiaomi for North and South America with many of their products. We've been chatting about electric scooters, e-scooters. They sell wireless earbuds, gaming monitors, sound bars. And before we talk about portable projectors, which is great for the summer if you want to have, movie nights in the backyard with the neighbors. All right, let's now end things off with projectors. I'd argue that they do have several benefits over TVs, and that does include portability. So with that in mind, talk to us about Xiaomi's smart projector.
Yes, the Smart Projector 2 from Xiaomi is, in fact, a very versatile device. Its primary function is to serve as a projector, and in fact, it can project some crisp full HD images and videos on up to 120-inch screen. But it also supports NFC and a complete multi-angle auto keystone correction. This allows the consumer to quickly set it up in a large room without the need to try to focus the image. And as you can imagine, this saves a lot of time. What is impressive also about the versatility of this device is that it is a multifunction type of device. When not being used as a projector, it can also be used as an amazing Bluetooth speaker, as it also supports Dolby Audio, as well as a Google Assistant device. This latter point is very important to note. Xiaomi has worked tirelessly with Google to support Android TV and Google Assistant, both built into the device, so this smart projector can also serve as a smart hub for an IoT-enabled home.
Yeah, that's really cool. And as you said, versatile. But that smart projector, what a lot of people don't realize is that not only can you beam an image onto a wall, but you can also do it onto a ceiling. So imagine if the kids have a sleepover, they're all lying on their back on a bed, and they can watch like a Disney movie on their ceiling in up to 120 inches, which is really magical for the kids. They're not going to forget that.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. And how much does the Xiaomi Smart Projector 2 cost?
Yes. So the Xiaomi Mi Smart Projector 2 is available in XiaomiShop.us. It retails for $699.99 USD. It is also available in Canada for $799 Canadian dollars.
All right, Claudia, as we wrap up, where can we learn more about what's available now and what's coming soon? What's the best place to start?
Techmovil is helping Xiaomi launch in all major retailers and e-commerce sites. In the US, we host Xiaomi's e-commerce site on XiaomiShop.us, as I mentioned. And also the products are available at major e-commerce retailers such as Amazon, Walmart.com, Wallbots.com, and we will offer them at many other retailers by the end of the year.
So that's XiaomiShop.us. All right, Claudia, great to chat with you. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Likewise, Mark. It has been truly a pleasure.
The company actually lent me one of those curved gaming monitors, and I got to tell you, it's really sweet. It's got a really cool minimalist design. Love the widescreen and huge 34-inch display. Hey, I hope you've all enjoyed this week's new Tech It Out with 4 different guests. If you're not listening to this show in podcast form, you can. So if you're listening on your local radio station and you'd like to listen again or share it with a friend or a colleague or family member, simply go to your favorite podcast platform and write Tech It Out. And I'm your host, Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman. And you can subscribe and you'll get a new episode every Saturday. And you'll get a description of what the show is all about. So either way, I appreciate your support. And speaking of being online, if you have any questions for me, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So feel free to ask tech questions or suggest upcoming guests on the show. Again, it's Mark Saltzman. A huge thank you to ASUS, the title sponsor on this program. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops, the Zenbooks, the Vivobooks, ExpertBooks, StudioBooks, Chromebooks, and also their ROG or Republic of Gamers devices. And speaking of computers, don't forget to properly back up your important files on a regular basis. I hate to sound like a broken record on this show, but I get emails all the time from Tech It Out listeners where it's just too late. Something happens to the hard drive. They didn't back up those irreplaceable photos and home movies, those important documents. So along with the cloud, uploading to a trusted service, make sure you have good external or offline storage. I only trust my data with Western Digital and their sub-brands like WD and SanDisk. Highly recommended, very reliable drives. You can go to Western westerndigital.com for more. And there are always sales on those external drives. In fact, next week, as I promised, it's going to be part 2 of our back to school roundup of recommended gear. And for under $10, you can get a SanDisk Ultra dual drive Go USB Type-C. This is on one side a USB-C port, on the other end it's USB-A, so you can easily transfer files between smartphones, tablets, laptops, and desktops, again starting at only $10. Awesome. Hey, have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'm wishing you all a happy and healthy week ahead, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out on the Radio America Network.